welcome to Modern Retro Gal. My name is JL and today we're going to talk about my top 5 favorite drugstore cruelty-free or not tested on animal products. These are kind of my top 5 favorite workhorse products from these lines. There was a lot and a little to choose from. When you get into the drugstore arena, trying to find good quality makeup that's not tested on animals can be a little bit difficult. So these are my top 5. There's one item that I know some people would not consider this brand to be cruelty free anymore. I'll try to touch on that briefly when I get to it. But I still think it's a brand worth checking out. So without further ado, here we go in no particular order. These are just my top 5 picks. I also did this for high-end, where to splurge. So I will try to remember to link that somewhere up here. If I ever mention that I'm going to link a video and you notice that I didn't do it, please remind me in the comments if you were interested in seeing that video. Sometimes I completely forget during editing to link things, even though I hear myself mentioning it back. And if the lighting is a little funky in here, I apologize. I'm actually redoing this because I noticed there's a weird like light reflection on my face. I'm gonna try and move stuff maybe out of the light. Hopefully it won't be shining on me anymore. And I couldn't figure out where it was coming from, so hopefully it's not there this time around. If it is, oh well. So here we go. Without further ado, number 1, again in no particular order. This is the Wet n Wild PhotoFocus foundation. I absolutely adore this foundation. This is hands down my favorite drugstore foundation, cruelty free or not right now. I am in the shade Buff Bisque or 366C. I love this because there are 20 shades, which I think for drugstore foundations is pretty good, especially for some of the smaller cruelty-free brands. They tend to not put out a very large range in their foundation shades. I've noticed that most stores don't carry all 20 shades, so if you find that maybe it doesn't seem like a good match is there for you, check online and see if there's a few shades online that maybe are not in the store near where your shade range is. Again, most stores, if I didn't mention this, I noticed carry about 12 to 15 of the shades if they carry them at all. So online is a good place to check this out. I love it because this foundation really looks great under any circumstances, which is one of their claims, and I think it really is true. This is a good medium coverage foundation, which I am much more preferring now than the really heavy, long wear, full coverage foundations, because I just feel like I just don't really need that anymore, and I don't feel like it really looks that great on my skin. What else was I gonna say? There's also a concealer and powder. There aren't as many shades, I believe, in the powder. I don't believe there's 20 shades in the powder. In the concealer, there's only 6 shades. So that's kind of a bummer. But as far as the foundation, I think it's really amazing. I took this with me on our East Coast vacation trip. It was very hot, very humid, and this really held up well under those conditions. I was wearing it for about anywhere from 8 to 12 hours a day, depending on how long we went out for the day. And it looked really nice by the end of the day, even under all of the heat and humidity. It wasn't perfect, but I didn't come in going, holy smokes, wonder how long I've been looking like that. So I was really impressed with this foundation, that it held up so well under those conditions. So I think it's definitely worth checking out. And it's only $5.99, so even if you don't find your exact shade, it's still really affordable to buy like 2 shades that are close and kind of mix them together. I think it's just a really, really great foundation and definitely something you should check out. Next, I also took this on our East Coast vacation, and it really helped, is the Milani Make It Last Setting Spray. This is supposed to prime, correct, and set 16-hour wear. I don't know about that. It smells really nice. It's a very light, subtle, floral, kind of florally scent, but it really goes away once you're done spraying. I do feel like it really helped my makeup to settle. It took away any over powdery looks that I had. It really helped my makeup to kind of like last longer. I don't know about 16 hours, but it definitely helped it to last longer. And I think this also really helped with the humidity while we were on the East Coast and even back here on the West Coast. It's really helped to kind of with the longevity of my makeup. So I think this is definitely one of the best products that Milani has out on the market right now. The next product is from Physicians Formula. Physicians Formula, I feel like, is always one of those brands that people pass by because for some reason it's just, I think because it was really meant to be geared towards originally for people with sensitive skin, that a lot of people just sort of passed it by, and they don't have a lot of color cosmetics. It seems like they're more like powder and some blushes, and sometimes it all kind of looks strange in the pan and you're not really sure about it. This is my favorite product that they make. This is the Eye Booster 2-in-1 Lash Boosting Eyeliner in Serum in the color Ultra Black. I love the Ultra Black and the Ultra Brown. They are both fantastic shades. They look amazing on. It goes on really easily. It has this really fine brush tip, applicator. It looks like a felt tip pin, but it's actually little, excuse me, what is happening? Little teeny tiny brush tip, brush tip, but they don't spray, they don't like lose their shape or anything. It's just fantastic. I love the shade, and like I said, I have maturing kind of crepey eyelids, and this goes on so easy. I just love it. Also, definitely check out any powders from them. Blushes, bronzers, finishing powders, powder foundations, anything that they have, it all looks amazing on the skin. They do powders really, powder face products exceptionally well. It was hard to choose between this and a powder formula. Sorry, somebody was like parking in my driveway. I was like, oh my goodness. Anyways, it was hard to choose between one of their powders or this, but this is the one thing that I buy time and time and time again. Always buy it. I love it. I think it's like $10.99. It's a great eyeliner. Okay, moving right along. This next product is not exactly a drugstore. It's not sold in drugstores. Actually, pretty soon it's going to be sold in Sephora, but they're not raising their prices. But it is drugstore or cheaper pricing. And that is from ColourPop. These are the Ultra Satin Matte Lips, I think. Liquid lipsticks, I think that's what it's called. It's kind of rubbed off on both of my tubes. I actually have a third color, but I can't find it right now. I'm wearing this color right now. It's called London Fog, and this one is Love Muffin. I love this one with a little bit deeper nude lip liner, and it just kind of gives you that really great like 60s pink lip shade. It's a little too milky pink on its own for me. But on someone else, it could probably work really well alone. But doing like a pinker or like a nude lip liner on it, and it really just sort of gives that like perfect 60s pink lip, like Bridget Bardot kind of 60s pink look. So I love these. It comes in tons of shades. I think they're normally $6, and I think you can actually get them like 3 for $12 or something like that on the ColourPop website, which is what I did. The other shade that I have is like this kind of orange coral red shade, but I can't find it. I thought I filed away all of my makeup, and apparently I didn't. It's just gone. But these are great if you can't do the super matte liquid lipsticks. It's just too drying for you. These are really great because they don't ever fully dry down into that dry matte feeling. There's always that little bit of moisture left behind, so you will get a little bit of transfer. These won't last quite as long as a matte lipstick, but I think that, like I said, if you have issues with matte being too drying for your lips, that this is a really fantastic alternative, and then you can't beat the price. Last but not least, this is a item from NYX. NYX will be the most controversial when it comes to cruelty free because they are now owned by L'Oreal, And I understand that some people aren't going to want any of their money to go towards L'Oreal, and I totally respect that. My stance is, number one, it's getting harder and harder to find cruelty-free drugstore makeup. Number two, you don't always know the reasons why a company decides to sell. There could be shareholders that make that choice that if the owner is involved with the company, doesn't have control over. Sometimes owners dole out shares of ownership, and at a certain point they no longer are the majority owner, so they no longer have majority say in what happens to the company. So those things happen. Number three, as far as I can tell and have researched, there are no major cruelty-free parent companies in the US. So if a company is faced with a financial choice of shutting down or selling to keep themselves going, they don't really have a choice. If they want to keep the brand going, they're going to have to sell to a parent company, and that parent company, 99% sure, is not going to be a cruelty-free brand. So that's why I don't discount companies that have sold to other brands, like parent companies that are not, sorry, I'm hearing weird noises, that are not cruelty-free. I do keep an eye out. There have been instances where brands have not, the parent brands have not respected that company's stance on animal testing and have moved them into markets that require animal testing, and that's when I stop using that brand. But if a brand is allowed to continue to be cruelty-free or not tested on animals, I will continue to use it because I want to continue to support that company, because like I said, you don't always know the reasons why a company is selling or being sold or bought by a parent company. So with that said, the item that I chose from NYX is their color correcting palette. I have fallen in love with this palette. There are times when my skin isn't looking so great and it needs a little bit of extra correcting that sometimes foundation and concealer just aren't going to do. So the green, if you don't know, the green corrects redness. So if you've got some extra redness, maybe if you were out in the sun a little bit too much, a nice thin layer of this in the most inflamed looking areas can really help to kind of take that down and allow your foundation to really do its job. The yellow and the salmon are for hyperpigmentation and dark circles, depending on your undertone and the type of dark circles that you have. The yellow is if you have very dull looking skin, maybe a little bit just not so great, maybe a little gray looking or something like that. The yellow can really help to brighten that. These shades up here are concealer shades. This one obviously is way too dark for me, so I can actually use this as a cream contour if I want. And this one is almost too dark also. This is, for me, like, this works really well on my dark hyperpigmentation on my forehead, more so than this shade, because of how like dark and kind of brownish it is. This actually works really well because this has a nice kind of salmony undertone to this concealer. Again, this is only like maybe around $10, so if you have some, you know, skin issues that maybe you want that little extra something to help correct that you feel like foundation and concealer don't quite help with, this is a really great choice. Also, color correcting is a really great way to be able to transition from using a very heavy full coverage foundation to a medium coverage foundation. That's kind of how I've like scaled back how much coverage I put, and that way your skin just looks really beautiful and it's not like there is a mask of makeup on your face. If that's what you're going for, that's okay. I don't This isn't to say that nobody should be wearing full coverage foundation. That's not the point of this. I do think that when it's done right, it looks really beautiful on the skin. But this is a way where if you are liking some of these medium to like medium full coverage foundations or something that's more skin-like, but you feel like you still have skin issues popping through, this is a really great way to make those foundations work better. Using thin layers of this is better than kind of globbing it on. Otherwise, you may get a little bit of peek through of this through that foundation, and that's not the look we're going for. So anyways, I hope you found this helpful. It was really, really hard to choose my top 5 drugstore favorites, but these are the ones that I turn to time and time again. These are brands that I purchase from repeatedly from the drugstore and that I think do products really well. So anyways, that is it for me. I hope you all are doing great. Please be sure to give this a thumbs up. It helps my video to be seen more. If you are new and not a subscriber, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and the little bell next to it so that you will get notified anytime I upload. That's it for me. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks again for watching, and be sure to click that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the fun. You can also follow me on all the social medias as Modern Retro Gal. If you have any suggestions for videos, please feel free to leave those in the comment below. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all again soon.